about Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota. She's a member of the Judiciary Committee. Also, Amy, Senator, you have a legal background. I'm so glad that you're on this morning.
Of course. I love the title of that book, by the way. That's fun.
Yeah, it really kind of sums it up.
There you go.
I'm curious on this Epstein case because, you know, there may be some things that are unreleasable. There may not be lists per se. There obviously is evidence, but it may be, you know, mixed in with a lot of potential collateral damage, people who are not guilty of anything. So I do understand that this is a lot more complicated than just release the files. Then again, watching this MAGA reaction, they want answers. There are clearly victims in this very legitimate case. Jeffrey Epstein was convicted. His girlfriend is in jail, convicted of crimes involved with this. What do you think Democrats should be asking for here, or what should they do?
Well, I think you know that we're focused on the other promises that aren't being kept, which is not keeping prices down. The president said he was going to lower prices for grocery. He beefs up 10%. Not kicking people off of Medicaid, he is. But I think the reason you see so much anger on the Republican front on this is it was a promise that he made. It was something he said. And yes, as a former prosecutor, I've confronted these issues before. And there are some times that you release documents and you redact certain things to protect the innocent. That happens. Or there's sometimes you just release the document because the public is crying for it. You don't want to make it look like you are part of a cover-up. You want to make it look like you are, in fact, putting the information out there for people to see. So I think the main thing that we always believe in is transparency, as long as it does no harm going forward to innocent people. But in this case, they have made such a big deal about it that transparency is necessary.
Senator, good morning. Good to see you. Also happening on Capitol Hill. Let's talk about some of that business. The Senate voting yesterday to advance debate on funding cuts requested by President Trump. They're aimed at clawing back more than $1 billion previously granted to the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, along with nearly $8 billion allocated for international aid efforts. USAID programs like PEPFAR, which now we're hearing actually may be reinstated, which is good news. We'll see if that actually happens. But how do you work as a body now to get back some of what's been taken away?
This is completely outrageous. Remember, this is money that was already decided on by a Republican House, a Democratic Senate. It was a bipartisan agreement. And if they can just start to go in there and take away these incredibly important funds, the sky's the limit. So that's my first point to our Republican colleagues. What are you doing? I guess you'll just rubber stamp anything Donald Trump wants. But the second one is, look at what this is for. Just as we've seen these weather disasters, including horrifically in Texas, but the fires in Arizona and the like, in many remote areas, or if in states like Florida with hurricane season upon us, they rely on a series of public broadcasting to get alerts out. And when it works well, when you actually have a system set up, it works well. This is not the time to cut back on public radio and public TV. And one thing people don't know, 2 to 1 on the percentage that comes from federal funding, 2 to 1, it's double for rural, the percentage, over what it is for urban and other stations. So that's the case we're going to be making, in addition to the obvious on the foreign aid, when it's really about our security, when we're in the middle of all these peace negotiations in the Mideast. Why would you mess around with funding that people have relied on and trust America to provide?
Senator, I want to get your thoughts on what one of your colleagues did yesterday, perhaps representative of a lot of Republicans feeling queasy about some of the stuff they just passed. Josh Hawley introduced a new bill to repeal some of the Medicaid cuts in Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill, meaning trying to repeal something he voted for just 11 days prior.
I just want to say, where were you that night, Josh? Where were you? Because for weeks, he had been saying it was immoral to make those Medicaid cuts. You talked about it. I talked about it. I thought this is really a good moment. And then he goes lockstep, walks down that aisle, and votes with the rest of them. Didn't do what John McCain did when we were dealing with the repeal of the Affordable Care Act. Didn't want to do one of those thumbs down and save the country and save his own constituents. So now he comes back with a bill, right now, after he could have saved it, when he knows very well those Republicans aren't with him on it. I just think it is the most hypocritical thing you could do.
All right, Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota, thank you so much for being on this morning. We'll see you soon. We're following all of this. And